The newest Bigme has landed. The B6. Nice box, right? Even looks like a book. I like it. The only problem, the other stuff doesn't fit inside, including the USB cable and the SIM removal tool, or the SD card tray. What is this all about? First thing we gotta do is unbox it. There has been this trend of minimalist packaging. In fact, we've seen a lot of manufacturers split this up and kind of break up what needs to be in what. It is a little confusing because it begs the question, do you get everything when you buy it? And we actually don't know, because it depends on the time in which you purchase, where you purchase it from, how late or early from the launch date. Maybe you do get the case, maybe you don't. It's just going to depend on the package. But I must say, overall, the box is really nice. It's very streamlined. It looks like a book, as we said, and this is really excited, so let's crack in. The feel of this is fantastic. It's very textured. You have these gold, kind of rose gold pinstripes that depict the entire unit. And of course, one of the 5 things at the bottom is AI. As you know, Chinese manufacturers really back AI quite a bit. And on the back, there's no specs or anything, actually. And this was the full box. This is the retail ready box. Oh, look at that. The case has a little bit of things that it says what to do and whatnot. Oh, I like that. I like how this, I said it's like a book, but you know what this is like? This is like those spy movies where you get a book and the guy doesn't check, and then he finally checks and there's like something cut out of the same shape, like a dagger or something, you know what I mean? All the pages are glued together. That's kind of cool. Wow, that's blocky. Oh, I am so excited about that. And I'll tell you why in a second. Yeah, you know what? Wait a second. You know, kind of feel like you could fit a small, thinly coiled USB in there. I think they could have figured something out other than a separate, just make it a touch taller. I don't know the utility of splitting that up entirely, but we'll look at the device in just a second. What do we have in here? We have a full-size USB and where is that thing? Oh, it's on a little card. That's kind of cool. So there is the SIM removal tool, aka the SD card removal tool, as we said. Let's look at the case, because we don't always look at cases because they don't always give us cases, but let us see what this looks like. Now, what did I say at the back? What it says? It says drop proof, scratch resistant, full coverage protection, open the cover to light up the screen, a lot of Chinese manufacturers, you'll see inconsistencies. I'm not trying to really, hark on this too much, but one of them is not capitalized, and it just shows you that when you get the documentation and the quick start guides, and when you see things in the menu, you're gonna have a lot of unnatural delivery of the way that we know that English should be and the way it is. So, for example, they don't call the calendar or a schedule or agenda. They say like dairy or daily, and it's not quite what we all kind of know as growing up in the North American culture. So there will be a shock when you do buy certain things from China, but overall the case is quite nice, and I like how they've gotten rid of the silicone acceptor point and everything's just magnetic, and we'll get to that in just a second. Let's look at this. Dude, it's blocky. I think that's really cool. Everything comes full circle, and things were getting a little too flat and streamlined. Everything was kind of starting to look the same. This is great. This is awesome. It does have a slight angle to it right here. It's not entirely 90. This almost goes out 1 or 2 degrees on a slight angle. I love the blockiness of this. This feels almost like your money went somewhere. E-readers were getting very lightweight and tinny, almost, to the fact that you felt like nothing was inside. This is great. This feels nice and tightly built like an old Super Nintendo controller. I love this a lot, actually. I like these jagged edges. It's very kind of pocketbook, the way they make these sharp angles. Doesn't exactly fit in your hand that well, but remember, it's not necessarily an e-reader. First and foremost, it's mostly an Android tablet with an e-paper screen. But I am curious to open up this SD card slot and see what kind of shenanigans we have going on in here. So yes, it is an SD. It's not a SIM or anything like that. And we have a USB-C at the bottom. Nothing on that side. Nothing on that side. Wait, do we have... Oh, we do have a speaker. Okay, thought there was no speaker. We have one speaker and we have a power button. This is all looking really nice. And let's put it in this case. I'm very excited about this. What a nice package. Wow, what a great feel that all is. This feels so compact and blocky and just full. I like it. I like it a lot. I like the delivery of the case. I like how easy it is to function. I like how streamlined and simplistic it is. I like the blue. This is all going in the perfect direction. Now, I know there were a few people that have already bought these early on, the early adopters, and they've had some inconsistencies with the screen and everything like that, and I can already see that there's a little bit of black bleeding over, so the top bezel doesn't seem to be completely lined up with the EPD, which is the electronic paper display. You'll see right there that we do have a fair amount of black that is not meant to be there, that is there. So I almost feel like it's shifted over just a 1.5 millimeters too much, but we're just going to do a first time boot up and see what we got here. So we're of course going to choose English, and we're just going to skip over everything for now. We agree to everything, skip all the initializations, confirm that we'll start up all that stuff later, and then it initializes. You know, that black bleed on the side is going to bother me, only because it's our job to nitpick, and what this means is because it's shifted over, that part is exposed, and this part is going to be buried. So as you explore content further down the road, this is almost going to cover a very small, minute portion of the content, and we'll get into that the full review. But as you can see here, we do have Google Play, we do have Kindle. I wonder if this was side loaded on. We can probably uninstall it. We can. Something like music, for example, I think we can't uninstall, correct, but all these ones that kind of look colored, they will be the ones that are kind of put on there after the fact. We have some gestures, we have system, server, Wi-Fi, display. We'll just look at display for a second. We have different night lights, we have battery percentage. Do we have the e-ink center still? Let's see if we have the e-ink centers. Probably these dots. That's the app dots, that is the storage dots, and I'm not seeing the e-ink center anywhere. App configuration. Okay, there we go. So we have the e-ink center here. So we have magazine, comic, video, custom, and when you go to custom, you can do HT256, Regal, normal, and you see there's that inconsistencies with the language and the formatting because I don't know what that says. Likely it says fast, but that it's blocked off and it's not scrolling, it might as well not be there because I can't see what it says. Contrast setting, vivid enhancement, color brightness, full refresh frequency, and you have app optimization as well. So DPI setting. Oh, look at that. Well, what does that mean? 491. Oh, it's a zoom. I thought it was like 491 ppi. And text enhancements. So this is good stuff. This is all kind of going in the right direction. I think the screen placement can be fixed in further production runs. Obviously, you can't fix that with a software update because it's the physical construction of it all. But for now, this is everything that comes in the box with the brand new Bigme B6. Stay tuned for the full review.